Welcome to the Reseller Show with your hosts, Andy Lawrence and Kevin Blackburn.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Reseller Show. My name is Andy Lawrence.
And my name's Kevin Blackburn.
And welcome to episode number 6 of the Reseller Show. As usual, we've got an action-packed episode for you this evening. We're ready to go. The guys are in the chat listening as we record this. And we were just talking before we went on air that it actually works out that we might have a reseller episode fall on Christmas Eve. And therefore, Simon says New Year's Eve as well. So I'm not sure how strict we're going to be, Kev.
I'm there. I'm there. Are you guys there?
we might have to have a chat about that.
But yeah, it's great to have you guys in the chat. Good evening to everybody. Reseller Show number 6 now. Last week was an epic show, so hopefully everybody enjoyed that. And I'm really, really looking forward to this evening's show.
Absolutely. It was an absolute rip-roarer. And once again, I have the trusty golden nugget bell here. So if we come across any golden nuggets this evening, you can be sure I will be making good use of that. Right. So we have a few questions already. If anyone has any questions from the audience, give us a shout. But we'll get cracking with the news first thing, I think, Kev. And quite exciting news actually coming up next Saturday, the 24th of November. Why don't you tell us about what's coming up with the exciting news for the Reseller Show?
So this Saturday, on the 24th of November, we are going to be shooting attempting to record the first ever in-person Reseller Show. We're going to go straight for it. We're going to make it happen. Basically, what we're going to be doing is this Saturday we're going to be doing an in-person mastermind where I've basically made the warehouse an open warehouse for the day. So people are welcome to come, meet one another, spend some time with like-minded individuals, other resellers, just talk all things business, entrepreneurship, just get to know one another. And while that's happening, Andy's traveling up as well. So it's a fantastic opportunity for us to get the cameras out and let's do an in-person reseller show on the day. So I'm super, super excited about that. I'm super excited for anybody that wants to come and join. You can learn more at lifesuccessengineer.com/mastermind-day. And then all the information's there. You're welcome to come if you like. Spend some time with me and Andy and be with the Reseller Show live, which should be awesome.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. So, I'll be there. I'm traveling up on the Friday, so I'll be fresh and raring to go for the Saturday. I'm really looking forward to checking out Kev's warehouse. It's a good opportunity to have a look around his setup and have a bit of a tour around there and meeting some of the other guys of Kev's community as well. It'll be great. And we're gonna get a reseller show on the go as well. We're going to record the whole thing as we're doing here, but with a live audience. So that's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that. And just meeting everyone. And if you're listening to this and you can get to Kev's warehouse, whereabouts is the locality, Kev?
Like I said, all the information I've got like a fact data sheet that if you go to that website, it's all there. You'll see the times, like from 10 a.m. You'll see what the sort of schedule is, what we're going to be doing. So it's all there. I'll put it in the show notes so people can go and check out that information. And then, you're welcome to come. Warehouse is big enough to hold as many people as we want, really. It should be fun. Should be good.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you want to come along, it's in the general, what are you, the north? Are you northeast or just north of England? Northeast of England. If you're in that general vicinity, or if you're down south and you fancy a drive up, and that's what I'm doing. So if you fancy a weekend up north, then come and join us. It'll be great to see you. And something I love is getting out of the office and meeting fellow resellers. I absolutely love it, and it's always a good opportunity to network and chat to people and just see what everyone's up to. I always learn a ton by chatting to people, and obviously try and help anyone else I can along the way as well. So if you want to join us, we'd love to have you with us. Yeah, we'll put a link down in the show notes as well to that link that you just read out, Kev. So we'll put that in the show notes. But yeah, so looking forward to that. We've also got some good news as well, Kev, haven't we? We've had a few of our students from the different coaching programs that we put on are actually giving us some really good news recently. I'll start off one. Matt from the Reseller, from the FBA Academy graduates group, which is my Amazon coaching course, has posted in the Facebook group that he, as from the 1st of December this year, is packing in his day job and going full time as a professional reseller. So really, really pleased for Matt. It's so great to get that feedback and to get good news like that. Matt took the course in, I think, January or February this year, and so in less than a year he's been able to build his business up and quit his job. So I'm super proud of Matt for being able to do that and really make the commitment and make it happen. So it's always exciting to hear of people, and I think Matt's actually coming along to the mastermind day on Saturday as well. So I'm looking forward to hooking up with him again and listening to what he's got to say about his journey this year as well. So yeah, really pleased with that, and I think you've got some good news from your side of the things as well.
Yeah, just to say there, Matt, congratulations! What an amazing time! What an amazing time at Christmas time to hand in your notice, and it is literally living the dream. Like, that is fantastic. You get out of life what you put in, and it's all about taking massive action, as I like to say. And if you take massive action in business, in life, you're gonna reap the reward. So congratulations to you. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas time and celebrate. You definitely need to celebrate. But yeah, I wanted to share a little bit of news from my side of things. I've got some fantastic news about Adam. And Adam he's actually a success partner of mine, which I'll not get into, but he's a part of multiple programs, and he's one of our success partners, a moderator from the Online Arbitrage Mastery Facebook group. And he has, over the last year, let me get this right, he's now sold over £250,000 worth of products in the last 12 months, and he's just surpassed a personal goal of his, a goal that we've been working on together, of 30,000 in 30 days. So that's just fantastic news. He sent me a weekly update this morning via email, and it was great to read. It's fantastic. It really, really is fantastic that this reseller community, there's real people getting real results, like life-changing results. And just a massive congratulations to you, Adam. Really looking forward to actually, I'm going to be creating an interview with Adam to share his story over the last 12 months. And yeah, but it's just keep sharing all your successes, guys. It's just, that's what this is all about. The success breeds success. There was David Daniels in the Facebook group saying that he sold his first product just yesterday, 13 hours ago, he posted that. So, just keep sharing your successes, because that's what this is all about. The more people get success, the more it just lifts everybody's energy up, Andy. It's just fantastic. Like, it's so motivational. It's so inspirational to see people get results that really are life-changing.
Absolutely, I think it does. It really it's great to read, and it does. There's something that really sort of makes you puts you on a high when you see people actually making the time, taking the action, and following through. And yeah, it's always great. So if you are finding success, make sure you tell people about it and share it, because it's great for you and it's great for other people to hear as well, to share that. So yeah, maybe it's a good point. We should share our successes more often. So yeah, that's good. In fact, while we are sharing each other's successes, I should do the same, shouldn't I? And share my own successes. This week, I've had a success. I've been working on a relationship with someone that I've been chatting to on and off for probably over 12 months. And it was to do with bringing a product to market to Amazon that is not on Amazon at present. And yeah, we've just agreed terms this week, and will be the exclusive seller of this product on Amazon. It's already a very well established and very popular product, and I'll be getting the opportunity to sell that on Amazon as a wholesale agreement for this person. So that's my success to share with people. I'm really pleased about that, and I'm pretty happy with myself about that, actually.
So you should be as well. That's fantastic news. Fantastic news. And I would love to dig down a little bit deeper on that, ask you some questions how this came about. So that's definitely going to be on the cards. But yeah, congratulations to you, Andy. That's amazing. That is fantastic.
That is great. And I think I touched on it with you before in the past when we've talked about relationships and how important it is. And sometimes things don't happen straight away. Sometimes you have to work on things. You have to get to know people. People have to trust you and understand that you're there to help them, and this, that, and the other. And sometimes I play the long game, and a lot of people go straight in, and ask for something before knowing everything. And I always like to try and find out about people, build a relationship first, ask the questions and listen first, and then find out what they're about, what they're trying to do, and build a relationship first, and then see if I can help them achieve what they want to achieve. And that's basically how I've got into this situation now, where he's trusted me enough to take on his product and put it on Amazon as a gateway for him. He was running out of time. He had time restraints. He had a very popular product that he had control over. Time was an issue, and after a long period of backwards and forwards and really sort of understanding that, we've come to an arrangement which means he doesn't have to add more time, but through a wholesale agreement, he's been able to actually free up his time, but add sales to his business. So it's one of those sort of situations that is worth the time. It's worth the investment in time and learning about other people and building that relationship, because it's not the first time that sort of approach has really paid off in the long term. It might not. You might spend a long time talking to people and working with people and maybe giving them your own help and support and advice. Maybe they'll take it away and use it, and you won't get anything from it. But you can never go wrong by trying to help people and trying to put yourself out there first. If you put yourself out to help someone first, then quite often it will come back to you one way or another. So it's I'm pleased with how it's gone, and in the spirit of sharing good news, it's been a good week for me. So that's pretty good. Shall we move on to is there anything you want to say, Kev? Sorry.
No, just congratulations, Andy. Fantastic. I've learned so much from you, and over the last sort of 6 months, it is all about that relationship build. It is all about getting to know people, give, don't expect anything in return. I think that definitely helps. It's all about putting yourself out there. So congratulations to you, Andy. And
thank you.
Super, super exciting. How amazing this next following year is going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is great. And I think that as an attitude as well, as being trying to be open and helping people first as an attitude is always good in whatever you're doing, whether it's in business or in just your personal life. If you put yourself out there to help people, I think you're always going to be in a better position emotionally and business wise. So it's a good thing to bear in mind, I think.
Absolutely. So, shall we go to the first topic, the first question of the evening?
Absolutely. Why don't we do that?
Yeah. So, just for you guys, if you're not aware, if you want to get a topic or a question onto the show, you can email us at any time. We will we'll get to your question, and we'll have a good discussion about your question, your topic, and you can do that by just emailing us at live@resellershow.com. You can also join the Facebook group, which is free. You can just join the Facebook group, join the community. And of course, you can join us in the live recording as well if you decided to, which is at resellershow.com/live. So if you are live, you can just put your questions in the chat. So Simon, Jonathan, Sam, Chris, all you guys that are in the chat, get questions in, and we will quite happily talk about anything and everything. So the first question of this evening is a question that was in the Facebook groups from Jamie D. And Jamie D asks, if Amazon is selling a product, is it a definite no-go? Great question.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, actually. Excuse me. It's an interesting one, actually, because it depends on quite a lot of different situations. If someone was to ask me, should I sell a product with that Amazon is on the listing, I would say no, generally. The main reason, not so much that they're on the listing, but it's very difficult to be sure what they're going to do because they're unpredictable. Amazon, if you're buying a product and you're looking to source a product, you don't know at that point what Amazon are going to do. They may share the listing. They may allow you to undercut them. They may not. They may just totally dominate that listing. There are several different things Amazon can do. Most of them aren't good from a reseller point of view. So generally, I would say steer clear at all times. Sometimes you might purchase the product and they're not on the listing, and they will then come back on the listing. So it's worth checking that keeper data for what's been happening in the past, because if you see a lot of Amazon activity and you can see they have been on the listing and they're currently not, you have to be aware, okay, I'm going to buy this, but they may come back at some point. If it's a fast selling item and you think you're going to get in and out relatively quickly, not necessarily an issue. But, I do share some listings with Amazon. Sometimes it's inevitable and it happens. I'd rather not. And other times they'll sit at a certain price way higher than I'm selling at, and they'll keep out of the way and it'll be fine. But there is no telling at any given time. They may suddenly drop their price way below yours for no discernible reason, and then suddenly you're going to lose all your profit. So it's good to avoid it. I don't know if you've got a different point of view, Kev.
Well, for me, Andy, with this, it's one of those things where if I'm the same as you, really. Like, on a sort of a blanket rule, I will tend to say no. Okay, and when I first began selling, it was just always a blanket rule. Okay, if Amazon are selling it, I'm just going to avoid. And to tell you the truth, whenever it comes to anything criteria based, whatever it is for, whatever your criteria is for your selection process for your products, I will always recommend for you to be black and white in this. Like, if you are maybe somebody that looks at a product and you are going, oh yeah, I'd purchase this, and then maybe not purchase that. And I always tend to advise, try to stay clear from any type of gray. Always go black and white. Stick to your formula, stick to your criteria. Mine at the beginning, and it has been throughout the years, is if Amazon is selling it, let's just avoid, let's not even go anywhere near it. And that really does help in terms of, especially if you start to have other people purchase on your behalf. I don't tend to get myself into this, this scenario, if Amazon are selling it, then we would do. And then this scenario, if Amazon are selling it, we wouldn't do. Because then that goes down to individual sort of perspective of like what they're reading. And for me, I've always been an on-off type of person. It's either a yes or a no. It's either a 1 or a 0. So for me, I've always said no. Having said that, I have and this is personally come from me. I have personally, at times when there's been a very good winner, and I thought, okay, I'm going to test this. I have had scenarios where I've been able to sell things with Amazon on it, and at the same time, if I've sold things in the past that had no Amazon anywhere near it, Amazon have then come in and they've taken the buy box, and sometimes they've shared it, sometimes they haven't. So it's really, for me, I would probably tend to say don't do it, because for the last 3 years I've had that rule, and we're doing okay in our business. So there's plenty of opportunities of products. You could just say this is a really good winner, and yeah, Amazon are selling it, just avoid, because a few minutes later you might find another winner that is going to be a lot more safer, I guess, if you've done the right analysis and things. But like I said, it's completely up to what your criteria is. whatever your criteria is, if you and I'm sure that you at this point know what the criteria is, what you're looking for, the sales, the price, and all these things. It's all about you sticking to a criteria, and then that's like your Bible, if you like.
Yeah, I think that's fair. If someone's going to ask you a direct question, then it should always be keep out of the way. There's, as you say, if you're doing it for yourself and not for creating instruction for others, then they're two different situations. As you say, I probably currently have a dozen or so, maybe more listings with Amazon on that I'm selling and still selling, and they're keeping out of the way at the moment. But I'm absolutely sure at any point they could just drop the prices and cause problems for me. So, I'm not actively looking to buy items that have Amazon on the listing. I will make a call on it sometimes. I'll look past the back history, what they've been doing. But the key is they're unpredictable. You can't be sure what they're going to do. And if you're trying to build a stable platform of a business, then it's better to keep out of the way. If they come into a listing you're already on, then you deal with it, you figure it out. And yes, you can undercut them. And sometimes they'll let you do that. Other times they'll just come back, and generally you won't compete with them with price, as they will generally keep going until it suits them. But it's very difficult to know what they're going to do. That's the tricky thing. So definitely one to avoid.
There is on Keeper. There is if you look on a Keeper graph, there is a buy box section. Do you know where it says like Amazon? That's the orange. The new, the used, the sales rank, etc. There is a buy box button. I'm just on Keeper right now, and on there it will come up with like little dots, and it will tell you what the buy box is, and it will also tell you the price and who's within that buy box. So I've just searched for a random product just now that Amazon are on, and you can go back in history. You can hover over the pink dots, and you'll see that it says who the buy box was, and that was actually a great tip from. I actually read that from the Facebook group, Colin. So shout out to Colin. Well done with that.
I didn't actually know that one. Actually, that was that's quite an interesting one.
I just wanted to just double check it here.
Yeah, that's cool. Just go over that again, just so we can be sure, because I'm just bringing up a Keeper listing. So let me just.
So if you go to if you guys that want to follow along, if you go onto Keeper, you search for whatever ASIN that you're searching for. Then on the right hand side of the Keeper graph, you'll see it says like Amazon, it says new, and you can click on to see the sales rank or not see the sales rank, the list price, and then there's one for buy box. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there's one for buy box. If you click on that, then it comes up with some like pink colored like little check marks. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
If you hover over that, then what you'll see is you'll actually see who it says buy box, the price, and it says buy Amazon.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I never noticed that. Can you imagine? That's a handy little feature to have. At any given time, you can see who's been on the buy box. So that actually will show you, for any given product, whether Amazon have been dominating that listing. So even if they're out of stock currently, if they've been dominating the listing for all that time, then there's a good chance they're going to come back in stock and do the same thing. So that's a lovely little bit of additional data.
It is very good, and I'm just having a look on a product that is sold by Amazon right now, but there are FBA sellers and there are merchant fulfilled sellers as well. I've just randomly checked one, and I can actually see when Amazon have been in stock. I can actually see where the buy box has been. So like I can see that there's the buy box here has been by Amazon, but then there was a scenario where Amazon were on the listing and it actually says the buy box was by a third party FBA. So that's very, very interesting.
No,
and then I can also see when Amazon are not on a listing, I can see who's got the buy box in terms of third party fulfilled by merchant or fulfilled by FBA.
That's great. And who was that that
It
showed
was
your name in the
Colin.
group?
It was
Colin.
Colin, yeah. So
Well, I think Colin actually deserves a golden nugget for that one, actually. Colin, this is Colin. Because that is definitely a golden nugget. Jonathan says that's worthy of a ding. Yep, I think the collective that's definitely worthy of a golden nugget ding, that one. That's really great. That's a very useful bit of data, actually, and I can't believe I've not noticed that on Keeper before. So,
no,
well
right.
done, Colin.
Yeah, and like I said, I saw that. I saw the question, but Colin responded back, and I think that is the beauty of a reseller community. It's the beauty of a Facebook community like this. You know, somebody's asked the question, people are answering it, and then out of the blue, there's a gold nugget that definitely deserves a ding again. And Colin, well done. Awesome.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, it just goes to show there's always something new to learn from people, and that's what I love, getting our heads together and figuring stuff out. So that's a great one. I should be paying attention to that each time I look at Keeper in future, and seeing if there's additional information I can glean when I'm looking at the Keeper data. So yeah, what a golden nugget. Excellent. Alrighty. So where were we? That was from the question, what do you do with Amazon on the product? That was excellent. Okay, so should we go on to questione number 2, Kev?
Yes, question. I was literally going to say questione as well. Question number 2 came from Colin, different Colin A, and Colin A wrote into the group as well, saying basically about Repricer Express or Repricer in general. How many SKUs or how many products should you have before you consider using a repricer?
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. The easy and quick answer to that, I think, is when you feel like you are unable to keep track of your own manual repricing. I think purely and easily. I don't know if there is a specific number involved, but ultimately you have to be the one to judge. Are you able to review your listings and check the pricing and keep on top of things yourself? If you are building an online arbitrage business and you're building for scale, in other words, maybe the margins might be on the more conservative side, but you're doing a volume game and you're trying to get as many as possible. If that is your aim, then there will come quite quickly a time where you just can't keep up with the repricing. That will happen relatively quickly, I imagine. And you will, if that's the case, you are going to lose money in that situation, because what you don't want to do is have someone out of the blue undercut you by 3 pence and you haven't noticed, and you sit there for 2 weeks not repricing that item, and for the sake of a couple of pence you've missed out on a load of sales. And you know, the turnover is important in this game as well. And so yeah, I think it's important to assess that and keep on top of it. If you can't regularly review your items and manually look through and make sure you can sort of look through all your listings, if it gets to the point where you're missing things or you're just running out of time, time is money at the end of the day, and it's definitely a good investment, I think. Personally, I don't use a repricer yet. I've been thinking about it for a little while. The majority of my stock is wholesale, so I go in deeper on items and I have less lines to look at, and I've always enjoyed manually keeping an eye on things. So I like to use as many tactics as I can, and I'll assess the situation manually and decide what I'm going to do. I may wait and hold and not actually reprice and wait for them to sell out, and there's various different reasons for my decisions. So I like to keep that manual at the moment, but it is getting to the point where it's taking a reasonable amount of time these days as I have more and more listings. So yeah, it's something I'm thinking about in the future, but certainly if you're on the online arbitrage game and you're focusing on that, then it's going to happen a lot quicker. What do you think? Have you got a number in mind, Kev, where you should be looking at repricing?
I wouldn't say I've got a number in mind. I've never said to anybody, you know, when you get to X amount, that is a trigger for you to get a repricing software. I go on, you know, ultimately what the expense is, what repricer. In my case, I've always used Repricer Express. I recommend Repricer Express only because I've used them and I've not had any problems for 3 years. So that's why I recommend. In terms of how many SKUs you should have. Like I said, I go on the expense, what the cost is. And I've just got Repricer Express up just for an example. And basically, it's going to cost £39 per month up to 2,500 listings. Okay, and then it goes up by £10, £49 per month to 5,000 listings, all the way up to £169 per month at 50,000 listings. So in terms of the scalability of Repricer Express, I mean, if you've got 50,000 listings available, I mean, you are doing some serious turnover at that. So for all the majority of us, I'm assuming it's going to be no more than sort of the £50. You know, if you 2,500, that's a substantial amount of products available as well. So £39. So the question now becomes, are you going to, at least, you're going to want to make money. Like, there's no point in wasting your time using a repricer where you basically have to put in your mins and maxes for all your products. If it's not going to make you at least more than, you know, £39 plus more, I'd imagine, because you're going to spend that time as well. So for me, what I tend to recommend to anybody is do the free trial. You know, do the free trial where it doesn't actually cost you anything. You don't have to put your credit card numbers in or anything. Just do a free trial and then just do the maths, if you like. You know, I would do the free trial, and after the 30 days, I would then see, you know, have you seen any type of significant jump, a step up in your sales, which you could, you know, pinpoint to, you started using a repricer at that point. Repricer Express tells you a load of data about your products, you know, how many are in, you got the buy box, how many are at min, how many at max, and all these different things. You can do an incredible amount of things with a repricer in terms of the rules that you use, who you compete with. The time it saves is, for me, I always look at a return on investment, not just money, but also time. Like the time, depending on how much you reprice, if, like Andy said right at the beginning, if you, let's say you looked at one of your products and you was like, oh, I'm not in the buy box, so I'll just match the buy box, and then you turn your computer off or you start your day or whatever, somebody literally within a few seconds from that point could have then just beat you again. And you wouldn't know that until later on. But Repricer Express does. I think it gets updated every 2 minutes, I want to say. It might even be quicker than that now. So within 2 minutes, you'd be matching the price again. I always recommend to match, like Andy does, like everybody should, always match. But it's one of those things, does it ultimately make you more money? If you can track that, then fantastic, jump right in. I recommend, you've got nothing to lose, everything to gain, in my opinion, if you use a 30-day free period, especially Q4 time of this recording. You know, you've got nothing to lose. And I'd also want to just add as well, there is automations as well, which is an addition. It wasn't always the case with the Repricer Express. It's an additional thing that came in over the last, I want to say 12 months or so, where there's now an automation, which basically means you can put automations in place depending on what is happening with your product. So let's say, for example, you are selling a product that has not been in the buy box for 7 days. You can decide, it's so customizable. Let's say 7 days, your product's not been in the buy box because, let's say, your minimum is at 30% and the buy box is at 10%, say. You can then choose, okay, after 7 days, you can then decide to go more aggressive if you decided to. And you could then, Repricer will change your minimum automatically to maybe 10%, for example, to match that buy box. So it's starting to get a lot more clever, and it's starting to get a lot more in different scenarios, depending on what the scenarios are. So let's say, for example, the age of your products. Let's say you've had a product for, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days, whatever you want to, the age of your products. You can then say, after 60 days, I would like to lower my minimum. I would like to get more aggressive with my minimum, or whatever the case is. So I believe it's it is very, very useful. I think £39 a month, when you think about how many times it reprices, I haven't logged onto my dashboard for a while, but with the volume of products, with how many times it's always repricing, I believe, you're talking thousands upon thousands of repricing going on every single day, which I just wouldn't be able to do that myself, and I wouldn't pay a virtual assistant. I wouldn't do anything. It's got to be a robot that does it. It's got to be a computer that does that.
No, that makes sense. If you're building for scale in Kev's situation with arbitrage model, it just makes perfect sense, especially with those automation tools as well. In terms of keeping your turnover moving, it's fantastic because you don't have to make that mental thought process. Or these items of stock have been hanging around a while. We've had them for 3 months. Maybe we should, they're not quite getting to where we need to be. We need to move them on. What are we going to do? Let's have a look. Right, let's bring them down by another 10%, or let's bring them right the way down to 10% margin, something like that. All that type of mental time and effort it takes to make all those decisions are totally automated, and there's a lot to be said for that. Actually, it's that's worth doing on its own. So I can imagine when you have getting to that point where you've got lots and lots of individual listings, it's you've got to have it. You've got to have it, haven't you? Really, it's going to be impossible.
Oh, I think so. I mean, the automations, just to do a little bit of an addition on here, the automations in itself with the age, we used to do that manually. I actually have a spreadsheet which I call it my inventory health, where we used to take a report from Amazon just to see what the age of the products are, get a good idea of, okay, all these products are now over 90 days old. We're going into action. Those products lower the minimums, whatever the outcome is. And we used to do all that sort of manually. Now with an automation, it's done automatically. You can also reprice individually throughout your sales channels as well. So you can do a repricer in Germany, for example. You can do it in Italy, Spain, and there's definitely if nobody's ever checked it out before, put it on your list, check it out. You've got 30 days. They'll not charge you. Like I said, you don't have to put a credit card in or anything. You literally just get it going, get it started, super, super easy. And then after 30 days, the way that it works, it'll just stop. If you don't want to use it, it just stop working for you. And then that's it. Whatever your prices are, it just doesn't change anything. So, for anybody that does want to consider it, please do consider it. You can go onto the website now and you can get 15 days free. But if you do go through the code KEV30, you get 30 days free. Just to give you an extra 15 days there.
No, it's worth a go. We'll stick Kev's link in the show notes below so you can have a crack at that. It's worth having a go because if you're on the borderline, it's taking up a bit of your time. It's definitely worth trying out. But as we both stressed, just make sure you match the buy box is really important, because otherwise you're contributing to the demise of the profit margin. Otherwise, there's no problem matching the buy box. We can all share and win at the same time. We can share information, we can share knowledge, and we can also share profits. There's more than enough to go around. So if we do that, then the profits stay high and everybody wins. If everybody is looking to undercut everyone else, nobody wins apart from Amazon. So a valuable lesson to learn. And if you're looking to get started, just make a point of learning how to set the repricer to match the buy box. I think it's quite an important thing to mention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I think that pretty much wraps up our questions for this evening. Unless you have
there was a question here from Simon in the chat. He basically just said, "I've noticed Amazon coming on a few of my listings with a silly low price, but with just 3 or 4 items in stock. Is this a Q4 thing?"
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've not noticed that on any of my listings per se. With 3 or 4 items in stock, the other thing that you can't always be sure about if you're looking at how many items Amazon's got is what they say they have in stock, because firstly, it's changing very quickly, and secondly, They can say they've got 1 or 2 items, and if you look at something that they're selling several times a day, they still said they have 1 or 2 items. So I can never be sure those item numbers are right with Amazon. It's a complicated way that you never know how they're governing that type of thing on their own listings. But well, they've just come on your listings with a couple, and the only thing I can imagine is what that could be is if they're taking stock. Excuse me. If they're taking stock from other people and listing it after items have been liquidated, we know that goes on. I don't know whether they only do that with the Amazon warehouse deals. They have an Amazon warehouse deals sort of separate account, and I know they do that with that. Whether they do that on their main account, I don't know. I'd be only guessing at this point if that was the case. But I don't know if you've got any ideas, Kev, for yourself.
No, I haven't actually. To be honest, I think like you said there, it's very, very difficult to know what the true value is. Like if it says Amazon only have 3 or 4 left in stock, how I don't think anybody really knows how accurate that is. Mm-hmm. What could be happening? What could be happening is Amazon trying to control the price of the product and bring the price back down. What could also be happening is Amazon may just be, I don't know, testing that particular product. I have no idea really. I just, it would be most likely a bit of a red flag in terms of replenishing that product. I'd be a little bit cautious at that point if they were coming in. And then it's like, hang on a minute, why has Amazon come in then? And then they've gone out of stock maybe. That would definitely play a part in replenishing the product. Let's say, for example, we would want to replenish 10, 15, 20 more units at some point. If that was happening, that would probably not be that high anymore. We would probably just we wouldn't risk that amount. We would just go, okay, well, let's just buy like 5 instead. Instead of being stuck with 20 then units, and Amazon have now got into stock a lot longer. But yeah, in terms of is this a Q4 thing? No, I think it can most likely happen throughout the year. To be honest, I think Amazon they're always coming in and out of stock. You can see, some products they come in stock and then they're in. This is the major, I guess, black flag, red flag, whatever you want to call it, warning, when it comes to your product selection. We don't know. That's the difficulty. There could be a scenario where you're looking at the history of a product. I'm just looking at one now, just out of curiosity. I can see a year ago, this product was in stock by Amazon, and then they was literally 10 months not in stock. But then they come back in stock for like a week, then out of stock for 2 days, and now they're in stock again, and they've not come out of stock yet. So it's too I don't like grayness. Don't like that. Just be aware if you're going to replenish. Don't be stuck with stock.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I still can't figure Amazon out. I watch them very closely. I watch different listings that they're on. I have students that ask me about situations with Amazon. It doesn't always compute, to be honest with you. There are definitely scenarios where they say they have a certain number and then suddenly they have more, or they don't go out of stock and suddenly they've got loads more. It's a very weird one, and ultimately it's their game and it's their playground, and it's not worth being in a situation where you're predicting what they're going to do, because you just can't do that. So yes, if there's a gray area, best to keep clear. Yes, and if they come on your listing and you can get all your items sold, then definitely it's something to think about for the future, whether you want to go back on it. And Simon says, yeah, I agree. Once sold, I don't think I'll go back to that product. Probably a sensible move, because you just don't know. And if you don't know, you don't want to risk getting stuck on an item that you can't move. So definitely.
Like you say that, I sort of wish that you could click on Amazon just to see what they do have in, what products they're in. That'd be fantastic knowledge. That. I'd love to, just out of curiosity, I'd love to know the sales of Amazon, really. like what they're actually doing. I'd imagine quite a lot.
And how that's governed as well. How does it work? What are the cogs in the background? Is there a team of buyers? Is it all automated? Because the decisions that go in and out are very weird sometimes, and it might just be just sort of they may have assistants, their own assistants that are just making decisions based on certain criteria, or it may be automated. I don't know, but it is fascinating to think what might be going on behind the scenes. Jonathan's also been contributing here in the chat. He's asking, is it worth being honest with websites we are mining for online arbitrage products when they ask if we are a business customer or if we have a company name? I'd rather have an invoice than a receipt if Amazon gets snotty. Okay, so if you can get an invoice, that's obviously more beneficial than a receipt. Both of those items are proof of purchase, so at least you can show that you have bought something from a reputable supply. If, for example, you're getting some feedback from Amazon that says where someone's questioning the authenticity of a product, both of them will be a proof of purchase, so that will get you out of that. But in terms, obviously, an invoice is preferable. In terms of being honest with websites that are money for online arbitrage products, I don't see why not. If someone's selling something on a website and they're kitted out for business sellers, and they say, do you have a company name? Absolutely, put your company name in and request an invoice. There's definitely the belt and braces way to go is absolutely fine in terms of that. Would you agree, Kev?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely would agree, because at the end of the day, for us, there's so much supply. There is so much supply. I think there's thousands upon thousands of websites, and I know that's there's a lot of work involved in finding products and things. I totally appreciate that. But at the end of the day, for you as a business, you are purchasing products online with different retailers, different stores, and a part of your customer profile, you're looking at your information, and it says, if it says company name, just put your company name in, your company address, do whatever you need to do. I would never be dishonest with anybody. Now there's maybe a fine line between is being dishonest when you're being clever with your purchase quantities. I don't know, like if you're, let's say, for example, that if you're going to buy in bulk, a store doesn't like that, but then you say, okay, I'm going to spread out some purchases over a few days. Somebody out there listening, watching, they may say, well, that's dishonest. But I would just say that it's a part of the process. It's a part of the business. It's a part of what we do. So I don't actually think it's dishonest. I think you're well within your rights to place as many orders as you want. And then the company is well within their rights to accept it or not accept it. For us, we're always just the show goes on every day. The show must go on. So in terms of the protection, like the Amazon getting snotty, like Andy said, receipt, invoice, keep them all, track it all, save it all as a PDF in your Google Drive. That's what we do. We have everything saved up in Google Drive via with the reference of the purchase. So if Amazon ask what is happening with this product, give me some type of proof of purchase or whatever, I can very quickly find that ASIN. I can very quickly find the reference, and I can very quickly find the documentation. So that's what I would say. I think it's a great question though, Jonathan. I really do.
Yeah. Just to add in that idea, I don't think it's dishonest at all. I think when you're in that scenario, you're providing a solution to a business issue. If the issue is you can't get that order through if it's X amount, then the solution is to order multiple smaller amounts. They're in business to sell product. You're in business to buy that product in order to resell that product. You're both trying to make money, and there's absolutely nothing to say that you're not perfectly within your rights to do so. It's just, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. It's the same with people that talk about when resellers buy from charity shops to resell. Some people might say that's not ethical or anything else like that. I totally disagree. Again, you're providing a solution to an issue. 99% of charity shops have an issue with far too much stock, nowhere to keep it. And what happens ultimately, especially with books, big heavy items, if they're not sold within a certain period of time, it goes to a recycler, mainly World of Books, who sell on Amazon. And they think they're recycling, and what they're doing is just sending them back on Amazon, and they are giving away tons and tons of money because they pay 2 pence per kilo, maybe 1 pence per kilo. They get very little, but they have to get rid of it because they're getting new stock all the time. There's only so much. So as resellers, we connect people that want that specialist book, who are and they see the value in that book, and you're connecting the buyer with the product, and by doing that you are getting value out of that as well. The charity shop has maybe got a small amount of people that will come into that shop and might not be looking for a book on molecular science, but there is someone out there that is. So I absolutely think you would be spending thousands of pounds with that charity every year and maximizing their stock and help them turn it over. So you're providing an essential service for these people. And whenever I've dealt with charity shops over the years, have always been very, very happy to have me come in and buy their stock. So I don't think any of those situations, whether it's reseller, online arbitrage, or whether you're going into charity shops to resell items, it's all win-win-win for everyone. We are ultimately hooking up people that want to buy stuff, and we're providing those solutions. So I'm a reseller through and through. Cut me in half, and I've got reseller written all the way through me, Kev. So I'm never gonna have a problem. I love the game. I love the whole ethos of that, and making deals and making buying and selling happen. So I would never have a problem with any part of that. And honesty doesn't come into it. It's just business, and it is just what makes the world go round. And honesty comes into if you're physically being deceptive about something and saying something that's not true. Whole different ball game, but none of us are doing that, and don't need to do that to make money. So I totally agree.
I think we are all in this community, and we like you just said there, it's not dishonest. It's you providing a service. Somebody's put a price on something, and you're there to say I'm willing to pay that price, and that's just basically business, isn't it? You either decide you don't want it or you do want it. I get this quite a lot. Like when I was starting out, and the whole idea of what people ask, like why would somebody buy something on Amazon for double the price when you can get it there? And I think when the mindset, the idea of when it comes to a purchasing. When somebody wants something and they're willing to purchase something, it goes for so much more than just price. It's like convenience. There's a price on that. There's, Amazon can get it to you on the next day. If somebody's got a birthday tomorrow, I need that product, that gift tomorrow. I'm going to pay Amazon for it. I don't want to go travel to Argos or something, and I need to get it to my house tomorrow, and Amazon can guarantee it. See, like you just said there about the charity shops, you're supporting them by going in there and giving them the price. So absolutely, keep going.
Absolutely, make it happen. You're always providing a solution to an issue, and that's business. And if a website doesn't want to sell you something, they're perfectly within their rights to cancel that order and say, we're choosing not to sell you that. Fine, I'm not going to be annoyed. That's what they choose. And if they say you can only buy 3, then you buy 3. And then maybe the next day you buy another 3 and buy another 3. So you're playing by their rules, playing their game. And if they're happy to sell, I'm happy to buy. So yeah, everybody wins. And
you just got to be. You just have to be in this game. You just have to be smart. That's all. You've got to do what you got to do. If it means you have to buy multiple times throughout the day or the weeks or whatever, you do what you got to do. It's about being resourceful. It's about ultimately building your business and you building something for yourself for your life. So go for it. Do it.
Keep doing what you're doing. That's it. Just keep swimming, as they say.
Yeah.
Right. On that bombshell, it's 58 minutes and 6 seconds of the Reseller Show goodness. I think we should probably look at knocking it on the head and getting on our way. What do you say, Kev?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was another great show, Andy. I think there's some great little topics in there. I really do. I think definitely that golden nugget from Colin. So once again, much appreciated, Colin, for that. I think you're going to help the wider community, those guys that are watching and listening to this back, as well as you guys that joined us in live this evening. I think that in itself was worth just checking out the Reseller Show.
Definitely. There's always a nugget in there somewhere. All right, guys. Well, I think we'll wrap it up this evening. Thanks very much for joining us, Jonathan, Simon, Chris. I think Sam's along there as well. We've got a load of people joining us this evening. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing us your support. We do appreciate you. And don't forget, if you haven't written a review of the podcast, we would appreciate you taking a moment just to say what you think about it. Give us your honest opinion, either on iTunes or on wherever you get your podcast. We'd very much appreciate that.
Absolutely. That this show is what we want to be for us. This is our community. This is just some people just getting together virtually, whether you're on your phone watching this, listening to this, whether you're watching this on a Saturday evening or a Wednesday night, whatever it is. It's a great time just to talk all things reselling, taking advantage of this amazing opportunity that we call Amazon, eBay, Facebook, you name it. We've had amazing success this past couple of weeks. Matt, again, quitting his job. Congratulations to you. Adam, 30,000 in 30 days. That's amazing. We've had first sales. We've had people starting their businesses. This is super, super exciting. Amazing future ahead for all of us.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if you can make it up to the north of England, we're going to put a link down in the show notes or on the Reseller Show Facebook page if you want to join us on Saturday. It'd be great to see you hang out and have a chat and compare notes. It'd be good to have you along when we record the next Reseller Show live from the warehouse. That'll be awesome. Sam said, mountains of awesome info. Thanks, guys. Jonathan says, always come away with things to action. Learn loads. Thank you, guys, and have a great day Saturday. I think we will. I'm looking forward to it.
Very, very excited. Very excited. Looking forward to the next Reseller Show. And until then, guys, have a fantastic evening and you take care.
Good evening. See you later, guys.
Welcome to the Reseller Show with your hosts, Andy Lawrence and Kevin Blackburn.